Yes, we are talking reciprocity and divine economy all month long. We're going to round it out. I want to talk about work, how work awakens the universe. Yeah, it's always good when you say the title and someone goes, appreciate that, Brother President, appreciate it. John 9:4, Jesus, little context, they saw a blind man, and then the disciples say, why is he blind? Is it because he sinned, or is it because his parents sinned? Why is he blind? Jesus says, no, it's so that you can see the power of God. And of course, Jesus heals the man. He says, John chapter 9, verse 4, I must work the works of the one who sent me while it is day. Night is coming, night cometh, says, when no one can work. I must work the works of the one who sent me while it is day. Night is coming when no one can work. This other quote, Ernest Holmes said this, there is no labor that is not immediately responded to by an infinite activity. Right. So there is something that we all have said, something that we all do at times, but I want to call it into question today, and that is waiting to see what's going to happen. We have all passively waited for something before. We've all said, well, we'll just see what God has to say about it. Well, we'll just let the universe work it out, right? Well, I'll just leave that up to the universe, right? It's not me deciding. I'm just waiting on the miracle. I'm waiting on the breakthrough. I'm waiting on the blessing. I don't know. We'll see when the universe says so. I don't know. I'm waiting on my change to come. I don't know when it's going to come. I don't know, but I'm waiting on the universe to fix it. I am a passive, not participant. I'm a passive observer waiting for God to unfold something. But today's lesson in advanced metaphysics is for you to know you are, in fact, a part of the universe too. No, that's complex, right? But you're a part of the universe, so do this math with me. Okay, if I'm leaving it up to the universe, but the universe is in me, can finish that. I know that's some advanced trigonometry. I'm waiting for the universe, God, power to do it for me. Well, where is God's power? In me. Now, yeah, there are things we don't know. I don't know how tomorrow's going to unfold. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know when, my life will. Like I said, work while you can, work while you have time. I don't know, right? But just because I don't know doesn't mean that it's not knowable. Because if the universe knows and the universe is inside of me, and if I don't know, maybe it's because I don't know myself. And, how can I know God if I don't know myself, right? So I don't know. We'll see. We'll wait on the universe. We'll wait on the universe. How does that sound, to wait on the universe? I got up this morning. I said, well, I'm going to just wait for the universe to make my bed. We'll see. And they will attest it ain't made today. Had to get going this morning. Could you imagine, here's another example. Could you imagine a restaurant? Staff is all there. Waiter, busboy, chef, sous chef, maitre d', janitors, they're all there. They're waiting for the universe to get the right food to the right table. They're waiting for the universe to cook the food. The universe has the power to cook it perfectly in divine. So We're here. Waiters here, chefs here, everybody's here. We're just waiting to see how the food gets to the right table. We're waiting for the universe to reveal it. You know, what do customers want to eat? How does the restaurant usually find out what customers want to eat? The waiter asks them, right? So, well, what do the customers want to eat? I don't know. I'm waiting on the universe to reveal that unto me. Somebody would say, why don't you get off your tail and do your job? That's what they would say. Can you see a metaphor there? How can we look to the universe to fix things when we are the universe? This story with Jesus, I said, the man is blind and the disciples are wondering. They ask him because they believe there was a one-to-one correlation between sickness and sin, tied very close with guilt, with shame, with fear. So clearly, if someone is born blind, either they sinned, which is interesting, that opens up a conversation even about reincarnation, which they may have had some of that in context at that time. Because if the man was born blind, but they say, why was he born blind? Was he born blind because of his sin? Or was he born blind because of his parents' sin? That's what they ask. And Jesus says, you know, maybe he was born blind because we got work to do. And let's see, instead of saying, well, maybe God will fix it one day, let's see what we can do. He didn't say, well, you know, let's see, I don't know, we'll see what the Lord has to say. He said, I must work while it is yet day. I must work while the light is shining. You know, it says long, you know, day. There's a sense of urgency there. There's a sense of opportunity, of clarity. There's a sense of strike while the iron's hot. There's a sense of things align, and that's the time to go for it. While it is day. Daytime isn't going to last forever for everyone. And it's not just about aging and getting older either. You know, I was 12 years old. I had a thought, it'd be nice to play in the NBA, maybe, right? I was 12 years old. You know, daytime is over for that one for me. For that one. But there's other daytimes now. It's daytime. That's night. Night has fallen on that one for me. You know, LeBron's the oldest one. I'm older than him, you know, so, oh well, right? So day comes, right? But while the urgency is there, while the opportunity is there, while the idea is there, we get ideas, we get promptings, we get unction, we get urging. That's daytime. That's when it's time to strike while the iron's hot. That's the time to go for it. Jesus said, he said, I must work the works of the one who sent me. So who sent you? Literally sent you to this experience called life, called earth, called your reality. You are sent here, or you find yourself here, with some sort of gift, some sort of ability, some sort of thing that bothers you, that you just want to fix in life, right? Some things that you love to do, some things that you're naturally good at, works. He said, I got to work the works of the one who sent me. So the one who sent him is the one who sent us, right? God, right? Yes. The one who sent us has works. He said, I got to work the works. God has works. God has tasks. God has progress, as yet unfulfilled progress. Work. Question is, who's going to work the work of the one who sent us? So let me put it this way, and I'm going to get into a little bit of science with this. When you work towards something, the universe works back. As you push something spiritually, mentally, physically. As you push something, the universe will push the same thing. It'll move it in the same direction. What is work anyway? Work is when we are applying energy, applying force to an activity, right? So to get something done, I got to apply some force. If I want the microphone to go from here to here, I got to apply some force. That is work. That is work. Applying force, applying energy to make an activity happen. Thought is work. Sometimes all the work that needs to be done, it depends on what the task is. Sometimes all that needs to be done is just to think about it a little bit. Sometimes prayer is enough. And that's all you got to do is pray about it. And I've had many things. All I had to do is just get still, pray about it. Work was done. I've had some other things where thinking about it and praying about it wasn't enough. I had to get up off my... Marlene wants me to say ass so bad, but I'm not going to. Sometimes all it takes is an intention, a prayer, a thought. Sometimes it takes physical activity. Sometimes it doesn't even take a whole lot of prayer. It just takes a little physical activity. All of this is work, right? But who's working the work? But what I'm saying is, anytime we act, so just look at that word, act, A-C-T. When we act, whether it's physical, mental, when I act, I activate a matching energy, a reciprocal energy in the universe. Anytime you work on something, even thought, prayer, intention, that's work too. Anytime you work on something, it changes. I worked on this, it changed, right? I'm working. It changed. Anytime you work, so that's what I said before, anytime you think, anytime you intend, and by the way, that's not just conscious thought either. Most of our thoughts are subconscious. It's like I said, same thought we had yesterday. Same thought we've been having since I was 9 years old. Same thought my parents had. Where do you think I learned it from? Maybe their parents had it too. I might be thinking a 100-year-old thought about what's possible, about who I am. And then, so the thought I think, that is an action. That is energy expended. That is work. And anytime you work, you change the system according to the quality of work that you put out there. Things don't stay the same. Energy is not destroyed. Anytime you work, anytime you intend, anytime you think, anytime you move, anytime you pray, we are actually causing ripples, causing shifts, causing attractions, causing collisions all throughout our world and our reality. So as we act, the universe is acting in the same way. Here's an example of this. This is a little more physics, the Bernoulli principle. Okay? And no, this is not more donuts. So, here's the work I got to do. Bernoulli principle. Great physicist. I got to fill this bag up with air, right? So, what do I do to fill it up with air? Start blowing, right? Someone said, would you hurry up so I can... We're going to be here. Church was all day long. Right? You get the point. Can only do so much on my own. The Bernoulli principle is this. The science of it looks like this. Well, let me just show you. So I'd be standing there blowing. I would get it blown up eventually. The Bernoulli principle, watch this. I'm gonna still blow in it just like I was. I blew in it about 5 times, nothing happened, or very little happened. Watch this. What happened? So the complicated part is as you lower the air pressure, you pick up the speed. But really all that's happening is I lower the pressure on myself. And as I lower, because this is high pressure, this is lower pressure. Now when I blow from a place of lower pressure, when I work, all this other air of the universe helped fill the bag up faster than I could fill it up myself. You see that? So that is, it fills up faster. Why? That wasn't, oh, I don't have that much in my lungs. I didn't have this much in my lungs. That was other air from around, working with mine, working with my intention, working with my activity. Now, if I hadn't blown, the rest of the universe couldn't have filled up the bag. But as I work in one direction, the whole rest of the universe, especially when I take the pressure off, I say, okay, look, I'm not going to fill it up myself. Let me take the pressure off. You lower the pressure, you increase the velocity. As you increase the velocity, now all the other air in the planet is trying to get in this bag with me. But the bag is only so big. This is all I needed was one bag. I don't need all the air in the universe. I don't need all the power of God in the universe. I just need enough to complement my work. But that's how it goes. As we put the work out there. Chris Rock put it like this. This isn't really funny, but he said, I think it was him who said it. I heard him say it. He had a car, used to always get flat tires way back in the day. When he got a flat tire, if he stood out in front of the car and asked for help, this is before phones and everything, cell phones. If he stood out and asked for help, people would just drive by. But if he put the car in neutral and started pushing it, all of a sudden people coming out of nowhere pushing with him. You see how that goes? But what's the difference? The difference is he put in the work. If I'm just asking, well, universe, help me, I need someone to help me, you might be waiting for a long time. But if you get out and do what you can, watch the entire universe do exactly what you're doing. To fix your tire, to fill your cup, etc. When you're really locked in, when you're serious about it, when you're working, when you're giving, when you're expending that energy, you know that the right people just show up, the right resources show up, the right coincidences show up right alongside with what you're doing. So that's what we're saying today. As you push, as you work, spiritually, mentally, physically, the universe will push you further in the same direction. So if you push it nowhere, the universe gonna push you nowhere. Too, by the way. So how should we work? He said, I work, let us work the works of the one who sent us while we can. How should we work? 3 things. The work got to be, I'm going to say them and then we're going to hit them. Authentic, consistent, and expectant. It actually spells ACE, by the way. Look at God. See, I was trying. I really want to make it memorable. ACE. Authentic, consistent, expectant. Hopefully you catch that. Authentic. He says, I got to work the works of the one who sent me. Don't we understand that we're all here to do something unique? The works that I'm here to do may not be the exact works that someone else is here to do, yet when we're both working our work, we're working it together. It is the same work, but I got to do the work according to my authenticity. Yeah. I can't sing it like anybody else. I can't, play it like anyone else. I really can't preach it like anyone else. Who says ass? Unless they're talking about a donkey. But that's what I'm here for. We got to work it authentically. How can you have spirituality without authenticity? Authenticity, like the word author, what is written from within, as you are written, as it is written on your heart, as it is. Unless you acting from there, how can it really be spiritual? I mean, now it can be church, it can be something, but a true spirituality, now this is why you might as well be authentic, because guess what? Whether I'm authentic or inauthentic, same principle applies. So if I'm being inauthentic, you ever pretend like you like someone, you don't really like them, and then next thing you know, you over their house for Christmas and you don't want to be? Why? Because the whole universe is just doing what you're doing. For every action, there's a reaction. And it's acting in concert. This is a law. So if that's the case, why not think, pray, intend, move, work, meditate, cogitate on precisely what we want? And by the way, this is why nothing's too big for God. I can't blow this thing up. That's true. Jesus said that's right. It is impossible for humankind, but with God, nothing is impossible. Got to be authentic. Align those actions with the divine assignment. And align every action. If my job is to fill this one up before I run out of breath, what do I look like worrying about little Ziploc sandwich bags here and there? Now, if I worry about those, universe will still work the same. I'm filling up the little Ziploc sandwich bags, the little baggies. But let's do it with authenticity, according to as we are designed, what we are here to do, what we are here to accomplish. The other part is work with consistency. Even in physics, work, there's at least two definitions of work according to physics. One is force times distance. The other is power times time. They're similar. Force, the force I have. So this is force, right? Just energy expended in a particular way. This is force, right? But it's force over distance is what makes work. So if I just go pow, that's just an explosion of energy. That's not really work. It's only work to the extent the more time I put in it, the more work gets accomplished. Same thing I said, or it's power times time, it's force times distance. So if I step on the gas, yes, the combustion engine, gasoline goes into the pistons and everything, right? And it'll go, but you don't just step on the gas once and get where you're going. The car has the power. Every time you step on the gas, it's going like this. You keep it on the gas, right? Force times distance is work. Power times time. I have the power because I am divine and I am true in God's nature and all is all and all is all. Yeah, that's real, but when I'm saying that, I'm only making it work for about half a second. I am God, I am all. Yeah, that's true. But can I walk that out for days, weeks, months, years? Now I'm filling it up. And it's not just me filling it up. Now it's filling up with the power. That's why it takes a consistency. That is the actual reason why the laws of physics, it does not work to say, I am a millionaire and all is well. And then you open your eyes and your bank balance ain't no different. But if you really go, I am a millionaire and all is well, now you start, if you really hold that, you're going to change your budgeting, you're going to change some income streams, and then you're going to meet some other people. And now you got to wake up even earlier. But if you keep with it over time, I got to serve others that I didn't serve. I got to put up with some mess I didn't want to put up with. Oh, by the way, I forgot I got to pay way more taxes now, but that's all part of it. But that's all coming in the bag too. If you hold it with consistency, that's the only thing that can happen. That's the only thing that can possibly happen. But it's power over time. Is force applied over a distance to get work done. And then the last thing I said, do it with expectancy, knowing that the universe is responding. Just as sure as this is a principle of physics. If I work in a particular direction, the rest of everything, literally the laws of physics, all the air on planet Earth is trying to get in this bag when I do that, when I lower the pressure. But just the air right around me is the first one to get in the bag and fills it up. But if I had a bigger bag, it wouldn't be any trouble. And they do this in high school physics classes and stuff. The bag could be 20 feet long. It's the same principle. It doesn't take much more than that, because the universe does the rest. So with expectancy, with a knowledge, with a knowing that no, we can't automatically see the results of too much of anything that we do. We can't always automatically see the results, but it is happening. You can't see the results of this either. See, now I did it, but it wasn't until I closed the bag off and then everyone was like, oh. But it was working the whole time, and I knew it was going to work. With expectancy, knowing that the infinite activity is already at work in this way. I touched on something, I think it was that 2 weeks ago, right? We were loving the dollar. But there was one thing, I touched on it, but I didn't really, I still love you, baby. All right. But one thing I didn't emphasize, I hit it, but I want to really hit it for a second here. This one here, right, the pyramid. All-seeing eye of God, and it's a pyramid, it's being built, God at the top. Maybe it's open at the top, I don't know. But anyway, the words annuit coeptis, right? And what does that mean? Does anybody remember 2 weeks ago? What does that mean? Annuit coeptis. Come on, I'm gonna feel like I really did something if somebody remembers this. Oh, Marley wasn't here, okay, see? Just throwing everybody under the damn bus, see? Under the bus, all right, I'm gonna stop. Annuit coeptis, God has favored our undertakings. This is one of the best kept secrets, but it's hidden in plain sight. Say what you will about the people, the men on the front of this, say what you will about those founding fathers, say what you will about their intentions or their respect of other races of people. They knew when you march out in a particular direction, the universe will agree with that direction. They knew, yeah, no, we're not going to stand for what the British say. Yes, we're going to enslave people and we're going to become fabulously wealthy. Yes, we're going to build the military. Yes, we're going to just print money and we'll just print more. Yes, yes, yes. And it works. They know God has favored your undertaking. What's the difference between folks who are doing something and folks who aren't? A lot of times it's just they actually had the courage to give it a try. And once you actually take the courage to give it a try and work it, you don't always see the results right away. But if I just do it, it has to work. And this is what it's saying. God has favored your undertakings. That's why you're here. You're a part of God. They understood that. They put it in plain sight. They're like, look, we're building a pyramid and God is at the top looking out over everything. And as soon as you try something, it will multiply. It has to. We're going to start a stock exchange. What's a stock exchange? What is that? Well, we're just going to take everybody's money. They're going to invest in the business. And it's all about confidence. Are you sure that's going to work? Yeah, it's going to work. How did they know it's going to work? Because things work when you work them. Now, if they got enough, Jesus said sometimes the children of the world are more shrewd, more wise than the children of the light. They got enough sense to know that if I apply something, under King George, right? Then the French wanted to take them down. Then the Native Americans didn't appreciate what they were doing. Forget the Native Americans. We're going to go from Maine to California. This is going to all be ours. Watch. Now, if it can be done for questionable ends, it's just a law at work. And we are under the same grace, under the same law, under the same facts of the universe, under the same working, that it will work when we work it. So, what is the work that God has given you to do in this season of day? Where have we perhaps been holding back the force, holding back the push, holding back the work out of a doubt that the universe will back me up? I would try it, but I don't, that's what it's coming down to. I would try it, but I'm not really sure if the whole universe is really going to back me up and if it's really going to work. But I just showed you plain as day, it has to work. Everyone who's ever made anything work, it's just by doing it and not giving up. That's why you walk by faith and not by sight. Because it doesn't matter what it looks like. Like I say, you didn't even know the bag was full until it got tied off. But your bag is filling up. It has to. Matter of fact, your bag is already full. It's just full of what you've been working on. Change the direction, change the quality of the breath, change the effort, change the outcomes. And so, of course, there's a window of opportunity here. He said, I got to do all this while it is yet day. Because everyone hits a time when you can't do it like you did it. And then you hit a time where you can't do it at all. But the end of one thing is it's the beginning of something new. And so there'll always be work to be done. But the work that's on the agenda right now, the work that's ahead right now, what has God given us to do in this particular season? And I encourage you, don't wait for the night. Work now, push now, move now, work it now. And let us pray. Acknowledging the creator, the sustainer of all, knowing that we are a piece of that. Heard it said we're not a drop in the ocean, we're the ocean in a drop. Recognize that when we work, the universe works back. Knowing that since God be for us, who can be against us? Such good news with great gratitude. We accept it, we embrace it. We're ready to get to work. Amen. Ashe.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. So we really appreciate our amazing musicians, Brother Ron, Brother Mosley, Brother Jacques, Brother Neil, Sister Nisi, Sister Linda, who's holding a musical vibe for us. Thank you for ministering to us through music this morning. It's so amazing. Let's give them some more love. Now, taking a moment for that amazing message this morning, that amazing uploaded download. Take a moment. What reached you? What tapped into you that you tapped into? That came forth, you breathed it in. Take a moment with that. Just take a